Broadcasting live from the mixed up world of Hyrule, this is the Link to the Past Randomizer League here on SpeedGaming. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Bobtastic, and joining me today on commentary is Jax Rife. Jax Rife, how you doing?
I am doing well. I am excited for the madness we are about to watch unfold between Acktheboker from Faraime Will Give an Interview If We Win, and from WallKicks from Op Get Good.
Indeed. So for those of you who don't know what this is going to be like, we've got something like all dungeons, key sanity, standard, no swords, or something dumb like that.
Yeah, I think you got it perfectly. Standard all dungeons, and we'll lack in S-words for this race.
Oh, I'm sure there will be S-words, just not the particular ones that hurt people.
True. I believe WallKicks being the lower team for this race, he vetoed inverted, which is why we're doing this good old light world to dark world today.
Yeah. And Ack, I'm pretty sure, is just one of those guys who likes just doing whatever kind of seed you could throw at him. So he's just like, whatever.
Alright, looks like we're underway. And we got a heart container to start in Link's house.
Man, who gives heart containers out? What kind of hard seed is this if you get free hearts? I'm messing with you.
I mean, I was gonna say, it's A, I don't think it's hard mode, and B, bosses in vanilla usually give out hearts.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. We did get the best opening, though. Good old bombs.
Yeah, there we go.
So, we'll be seeing a lot of, interesting strats on bosses and various things due to lack of sword. Probably the most relevant item for our players here is going to be the hammer, because that's going to unlock a lot of things that the sword would ordinarily unlock. The hammer, of course, will give you access to the Agate Tower entrance. It will give you access to the tablets that normally require a sword. It is the only way to beat Moldorm and Ganon. You can use it for Aga. And because this is all dungeons, Aga is going to be required twice.
Yeah, the hammer is going to be the most important weapon. Second most important is going to be silver arrows because, well, the hitbox is there, and it's possible. But, like, when Andy's one of the only people that's done silverless, swordless, and it took 10 minutes, yeah, you're going to find silver.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people who have actually spent time practicing it, but it doesn't seem like it would really be worth it.
No.
It is something that can theoretically be done. The window on that is 3 frames. So to hit Ganon with your hammer, you have to hit him exactly within a 3-frame window. So there is a 20 or 1/20th of a second.
Yeah, I commentated the WallKicks race on Sunday, and one of the things that we were talking about there was the fact that with the sword spins, the sword spin is for 30 frames, and so you have a much bigger window to get to land within those those 3 frames when you have 30 of them with the sword spin.
Yeah, the hammer is active for 1. Whereas the spin is active for 30. So, good job.
Mm-hmm. So while we were discussing that, we did find a small key to Turtle Rock, because again, this is going to be all dungeons, key sanity, and since we've been talking about swordless, a reminder that we're lacking in S words, at least the pointy ones.
Mm-hmm. So, we are going to have to beat Turtle Rock. That isn't going to involve beating Trinex, so going to have hammer on that boss as well, I'm sure. It is theoretically possible to beat it without the hammer, but that would be straight garbo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm reasonably certain that the logic will never require you to have the hammer, or to not have the hammer. I don't think that the hammer could be Of course, the hammer won't be on Trinex because you need it to get into Turtle Rock. I'm just thinking about like entrance.
Yeah, entrance is a whole nother beast.
So the way you would beat Trinex without the hammer in this seed is you would literally just keep shooting the rods.
And just have a bunch of bottles.
Yeah. In fact, that's how I did it as a kid. I didn't know you could hit it with the sword after hitting it with the rod. I thought the idea was just use the rods to knock down the heads. Oh, hello.
Early Moon Pearl. Speaking of things we never...
the last phase. I'm dumb. Hi. Hi, I'm Dr. Bob, and I'm a dumb.
So... now we have the true boss of Escape trying to hit a brat with a bomb. And that gets it done in the first go, and WallKicks just kamikazes it.
Yeah, what with all the health you got, you can kind of handle it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Back of Escape, a mirror.
Very nice. Map to Thieves Town. I will say, since you were talking about things you didn't realize as a kid, I never realized that Helmassar you could damage with the hammer. I always used the bomb strat. It wasn't until I started playing Rando that it was like, oh wait, you can hit the mask with a hammer?
So I always did it with the hammer just because that's just the first thing I tried. I'm like, I picked up the hammer in this dungeon, it's got to work. But anybody who had the guide as a child, like the old guide, it actually does say use bombs. I actually have that guide sitting around in my office now.
I used to be one of those guys that always bought guides for Zelda games. But anyway, we don't have guides for Randomizer, and we're going to have both runners at least heading to the Lost Woods area first.
So we had a question from chat. Can you be required to do Aga with just bug net and cape? The answer is yes. You absolutely can. Bug net is the primary item that you want to be able to do Aga. Let's be honest. And I think the logic generally wants you to have it for Aga, but I could be wrong.
Lost Woods check. Big key to Eastern.
Well then, that is a very interesting key to find early, considering it, renders Eastern to its normal 5 items instead of 4. Now, of course, you would need the bow to get the last one.
Yep.
There is no Igor clip. Let's put it that way.
Nope. All right. So, Blind's Hut, 5 items as usual. Let's see what we have today. We got a piece of hearts. We got a bow.
There's that bow.
So, how about that Eastern?
We have what would have been a sword and another Turtle Rock key. Yeah, so the climb with no hammer is possible. You do need to have some other relevant weapon, though. So the extra So like a hammer, not a hammer, but like fire rod, bow, something like that to actually kill things. Or, in a roundabout way, the flippers.
The flippers?
Yep, because the flippers give you access to the fairy that lets you upgrade your bomb capacity.
Ah. That makes sense.
And you do need more than 10 bombs to beat Agate Tower. You actually need 12 if you're perfect. So a flute in the well, giving us an immediate access to the duck.
And the playing of the national Swag Duck Anthem.
And as our duck escapes and flies off to freedom, we probably won't see him for a little bit because we've got a little bit more of the particular village to check. But there's a good chance that a check toward Death Mountain might happen soon. And of course, you can just use the duck to get around a little quicker.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, at this point, 6 hearts, bow, you got the big key to Eastern. Like, I probably would be making a play for Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern is probably the big play right here.
And, well, now we have 7 hearts.
Yeah, the only thing that doesn't put actually all of Eastern in logic is the lack of fire source. Specifically lamp for one of the items, and then either lamp or fire rod for the other.
So, Ack just going on, only has 1 bomb left. Wally decides to go ahead and buy bombs. And with that 1 bomb, Ack's just gonna YOLO the race game. $5, gonna use the duck, and go to 5.
I'm not sure I'm on board with not getting more bombs here, but you don't really require the bombs at any point in Eastern. You do require them for the Sazral's closet here, but he does have the 1, so that's enough. And WallKicks decided to go to the South Shore Dam and picks up a glove in the dam.
Meanwhile, in Hospital's closet, we got a heart container and a pack of 3 bombs, so Ack is not bombless.
You're not mentioning the most useful map in the game.
Yeah, it's so useful, I just completely ignored it.
It's not useful at all. It's the worst map ever. It's just the map of Hyrule Castle, which does you no good whatsoever.
Especially since this was standard, and even if you would want to use that map, you're not going back to that dungeon until you probably have to do Aga.
These mini Moldorms are not doing WallKicks any favors.
Nope.
RNG, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright. Axe and Eastern. We got Wally getting a third small key to Turtle Rock, some sticks, a big 20, another pair of sticks, and another big 20. We got a small key to Pod in the pinball, or bowling ball room of Eastern. Words hard.
So the necessary keys are piling up here. So the third Turtle Rock key is, best case scenario, all you might need for Turtle Rock. Unless there's something in that lava chest somewhere. Castle Tower small key. Now that is an interesting proposition, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have to complete the dungeon, but now there's 2 items in Agate Tower. Now, Wally's also going to join Ack in Eastern.
I was like, while what? For some reason, you said Wally, and I thought it meant while. I thought you said while he. Anyway, I'm brain. Brain don't know how to brain today. You ever done one of those?
Yeah, I did a work derp thing earlier that you missed, but our runners don't want to, or our chat doesn't want to know about that. Big 20 in the big chest. So now, again, with the lack of lamp, this vanilla big key chest is going to be out of logic. But the thing is, with the caliber of runner that we have, honestly, we may never... As long as we find the fire rod, neither runner would need the lamp. They both can do dark rooms. Dark Aga may be another conversation, but, well, we'll see. Hey, more bombs.
All right. In before lamp is in Spectacle Rock Cave. So, nice arrow drops from all of these popos. Considering we're having to use all the arrows just to beat them.
Oh, Ack had a little bit of trouble getting the quick kill set up, but looks like he's got it.
No, he was one arrow off, but that is a bottle. Interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Let's do a quick flute to 3 and just check it. That's what my brain would do. It's like, before I forget, just go to 3. But of course, Ack is doing the actual sensible thing and going to South Shore and such.
That makes sense.
Alright, WallKicks into the Armos fight. That looks correct for the quick kill, and there it goes.
So both runners have their first crystal. See what WallKicks decides to do, since he's already been to the South Shore.
Well, he apparently hasn't been to Sazral's closet yet, so he's going to go ahead and take care of that, it looks like. Ack picking up his third Turtle Rock key. Alright. Ack now going to Ice Rod Cave, which I'm not entirely sure whether WallKicks actually did that or not. I don't think he did. And we're finding out he absolutely did not. Ack doing a very nice job dodging some crabs. So I wonder if we're going to get to see a nice little farming session of money here in a bit. Because Zora is in logic with that glove.
Well, you're at least turning the bottle. You might go up to Death Mountain at least to check a couple items there.
I mean, currently in logic, you're looking at Hera stuff, and a shovel from the kid. What? You've also got Agina's Cave, which Ack's going to go ahead and check. Got a big key on Desert Ledge. Second there, I thought Ack was going to open Desert. I'm like, do you have the book? And I didn't notice.
Nope, he's just routing a little differently. So if we have Titan's Mist, we can get that big key.
That's a contingent, yeah. If we get that other glove.
Which would also open up Desert. But just a big 20 in Agina's Cave.
Meanwhile, WallKicks is doing the sequence break to get up to, or to do fake flipper stuff. He's going to be a little short to actually purchase the Zora item, but he is going to be able to get the item off of Zora Ledge with some splash deletion shenanigans. That's another upside to having the bow this early. And of course, due to the early Moon Pearl, we can check this waterfall cave. Acktheboker gets a big key from the shovel. It is the big key of Ganon's Tower.
Fetch quest giving us some much needed items.
Indeed. Looks like just a sword, or lack thereof, on the ledge, the Zora ledge there. Ack's attempting to navigate the old man's cave without a sword. For those of you who are just tuning in, the requirements for this seed, we've got all dungeons, key sanity, standard, so we've already been through escape, and swordless. So, you know, Ack just kind of threw in whatever fun stuff he wanted, and WallKicks was like, as long as you don't do inverted, we'll be fine.
Pretty much. So WallKicks is on his way to go get that GT big key. Ack is almost now just out of getting the old man out of the cave. It gets half magic.
I'm certainly not going to argue with that.
Nah, I'm not going to either.
All right, Acktheboker going to check out Spectacle Rock. If the lamp had actually been in there, I would have, like, you know, blown, you know, just lost my mind. But yeah, this whole Hera, trip toward Hera is completely in logic. No, definitely won't be able to beat it.
Nope. You'll only be able to get the first 2 items. We could talk about Hera Pot, but, well, you need a hook shot. I mean, how convenient that the compass of Hera is in Hera.
So what you're saying is it's hook shot or get off the pot?
Yeah, or a hammer! That's Dark World access.
Yep. It's also East Death Mountain access, which I imagine Acktheboker is going to take advantage of.
Yep, and WallKicks is right on his heels.
We've got bees on the floating island as Ack heads into Spiral Cave.
It's always the bees. It's always the bees.
So WallKicks gets his half magic and then gets several cabbages to the face. Like you do. There ain't a blame thing you can do about those cabbages.
Map of Skullwoods and Spiral Cave.
I mean, it's decent for information, but again, this is all dungeons, so it's not quite as valuable. You know you're going to have to do the dungeons anyhow. WallKicks apparently YOLOing that piece of heart in Spectacle Rock Cave. Got the map of Swamp as well here in Paradox Cave. I mean, the general strat for all dungeons is probably like, try not to dip a dungeon unless you can beat it. Unless, of course, it's like a stupid amount of checks that are just overwhelming the number of checks you have available. Alright, so Ack finishing up with Paradox Cave. That's going to do it there, and he's going to head to the Dark World at the Hype Cave area. Oh boy. The Turtle Rock Big Key has been located.
So, if we find the glitch stick and the fire rod soon, well, that and Titan's Mitts, yeah! Yeah!
Yeah, that means Laser Bridge is in logic. Alright, so Ack is now heading west to check Stumpsman and the K45 and good old digging game. Maybe you could pick up some money at the archery game too. That's a 4th Turtle Rock key. Oh boy.
So, yeah, glitch stick and fire rod
I would
makes this very interesting.
I would bet a reasonable amount on something impressive being in the lava chest of Turtle Rock.
There's a big heated desert. You know, there was
In this
one
case, my brain thinks the flippers.
You know, there was one key sanity race I commentated where we found like all 3 Meyer keys early, and the other commentator thought like, okay, there has to be something in Meyer. Like, there's no way we're getting all these Meyer keys early, and there's nothing in Meyer. Spoiler alert, nothing was in Meyer.
That might have been me. Because I'm the one who's obsessive with key logic.
It was actually Fantalis, but you know, I didn't.
Fair enough.
Nothing against him. I just didn't want to like bring it up, you know, because it wasn't relevant. Meanwhile, small key for desert. So
okay.
Once we find those Titans mitts, now desert is just a boots lock away.
It's like, yeah, let's go ahead and put the desert big key and the desert small key in the same spot or in the same general area for no reason. All right, Ack now heading to the Lost Woods entrance to the Dark World. And we'll see where Ack decides to go first. My bet would be on heading towards Skull Woods just because it's more convenient to get out of this area going through Skull Woods. But I am completely wrong.
Swamp and desert are 5/6 crystals.
Interesting. All right, that is a shield in the brewery. WallKicks getting the desert key. And Ack now heading into Thieves Town. At the moment, just the 4 chests we can access, but I've seen the big key in here more often than I want to in Key Sanity.
Map to Turtle Rock. So hey, more enticement about Turtle Rock.
I think they removed the logic about having to have the map and compass before beating a given dungeon, but I could be wrong. I know it's out of the entrance randomizer.
And all right. Sticks.
Whole ton of Garbo in the front of Thieves Town. Basically a 4-chest overworld cave with a secret back entrance.
Okay. Next up is C-shaped house. $50. And now Ack is going to make that Skullwoods play you were talking about.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Especially if, now that I think about it, if you were going to head over to, say, like, Graveyard Ledge, and then maybe, like, do a kern jump to get to Catfish and such while you're at it,
I still need to learn Kern Jump.
It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, when I first saw Icebreaker and Diver Down, I was like, how? There's no way I'm going to be able to learn those. And then, like, within 15 minutes, I had one and then the other.
Yeah, it looks stupid. You know, they look stupid, and it's actually not bad. What I learned with Kern Jump is you actually don't want to be as low as possible on the ledge before you jump. You want to be a little higher.
Mm.
And then, you know, the timing.
Hey, we got Zora money now.
Well, very nice for Ack, especially if he's intending on doing that Kern Jump we were talking about.
Yeah, you can mirror right from Catfish and then go check Zora. Right. Meanwhile, we're going to see the front of Skullwoods. Now, Ack does have a Skullwood small key, so dropping down here, he's at least going to be able to get out. In Key Sanity, does the advanced logic still put the key in the pinball room?
Not outside the entrance randomizer.
Ah.
Speaking of which,
we got the glitch.
There's our cane.
There's our glitch stick and our fire rod!
Good God.
Oh. So, about that turtle rock.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, game. We get it. We get it.
GT small key. Well, we at least needed one of those.
Oh, and you know what? I just completely forgot that the fire rod actually gives you access to the rest of Skullwoods.
Which is what Ack is doing. But gonna get a death warp first.
Yeah. And to be fair, I think he might have gotten the small key under the pot, or maybe he found a small key somewhere else. I don't know. But he might not actually be able to beat the dungeon. Okay, yeah, he's good. I can't remember where that other Skullwoods key was. So WallKicks is going to be at a slight advantage here on account of having the Cane of Samaria before having to go to the vanilla big key chest.
There's another GT small key.
Neat.
So, again, with this being swordless, the rando developers were kind and cut down the camera. Sorry, I'm working on cameras right now. Cut down the curtain so that you can get in without having to use a sword.
Yeah, very, very, very nice of them. But that does mean you know, still don't have a sword. So, you know, the existence of swordless mode notwithstanding. Okay, WallKicks has the Cane of Samaria and just not using it. That works.
Ack doing pretty good with the fire rod and Mothula down with the single arrow and a crystal.
Lol. All right, so Ack will now be leaving the Skull Woods area. I feel like this is going to be a play toward the Graveyard Ledge and perhaps onward. Now, Ack actually hasn't done any of the Zora area either, so he could do Catfish and also check Zora while he's at it, which is kind of an interesting play.
So next up is going to be Piece of Heart at the Bumper Ledge, and now Ack is gonna go check what's on Lumberjack. Gonna have to do Aga at some point. Still an item there.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea. It first of all, he mirrored in that particular location to make it a little easier to like jump off the ledge before the stupid murder-dactyl gets to him. And second of all, he's getting that check taken care of just in case it's necessary.
WallKicks also has Mothula down. Still gets a murder-dactyl hit, but now going to be on his way to Graveyard Ledge. Or, oh, wait, no boots, no Titan's mitts. You have to go the long way.
Yep, it's a process. But this is an in-logic capability. So I have run into some people running this game who were just plain unaware that you could get to Graveyard Ledge without either of those. And I think I won a race on account of it once. Oh my god!
So, Turtle Rock, anybody?
Yeah, about that Turtle Rock, y'all.
At least now getting out of Graveyard Ledge will be easier. And looks like we're going to see a Kern jump. Doesn't quite get it.
I think he's a pixel low, yeah.
Nelson, why are you trying to spoil our fun? We have a medallion.
All right, so Ack's gonna get some catfish. Now I want catfish. Anyway. Yeah, I really feel like the Ice Rod is going to be behind something in Turtle Rock in this seed. It's not guaranteed, but there is a lot of indication that Turtle Rock is going to be required to double dip. All right, so Ack is going to do some splash deletion. Now you need to be a little closer to the wall.
There you go.
There you go.
Meanwhile, WallKicks heading over to the Mire area. Sticks in a big 20.
So WallKicks will be able to... We see the Quake medallion for Mire entrance.
Which means everything that's not big key lock we can get to.
Well, we need the boots or hookshot.
Oh yeah, there's that problem. Got another GT small key in the Mire shed. And you know, Dr. Bob, there once was a fish named Zora. He gives you flippers and vanilla, but in Rando he sucks. For $500, we did this stupid trek for 5 measly bucks.
Zora not great, but at least Ack was able to avoid heading to that location more than once. All right, so Ack is started at the old man, but pulled out the flute, so maybe he's going to, the mire area as well. This seems pretty solid due to the desert key situation.
Mm-hmm. Hoard of cash on the desert torch. So not going to need to come back here once we get boots. Wally's continuing on in desert, gets the compass to eastern.
And that was the Thieves Town big key. I just completely missed it the first time. Which in logic unlocks one more item.
Yeah, there's that whole logic can't trust runners to use keys correctly, so gotta make sure that we prevent them from using keys incorrectly.
So now I feel like it might be something dumb in Turtle Rock like the Thieves Town small key.
Alright, got the cutscene. And into the Lambo fight we go. Half magic with Fire Rod. Just gotta hit 6 Fire Rod shots, and the Lambos are out for a heart container and a 5-6 crystal.
Very nice, very nice. Now, the other 5-6 crystal, we do need quite a bit more before we can actually access that. We need flippers, and we need the Swamp Palace small key, and we need the hook shot. Key Sanity's always fun with the keys that you find and / need. Because there are a lot of keys that you don't really need, just lying around. All right, WallKicks will be now checking the checkerboard cave for a big 20. And where do we go from here?
Going to 3.
Might be going to finish Thieves Town?
It's a possibility. Key logic aside. Oh, that's green pendant, not 5-6 crystal.
Yeah.
Could also be Smith's chain.
¿Por qué no los dos?
But looks like he's going back into Thieves Town.
Seems like both would be a reasonable play, so,
Mm-hmm.
Why not one into the other? Though I really kind of feel Dark Death Mountain just kind of screaming at me right now. Especially Turtle Rock. All right, Ack will be fluting. Where's he going? Also 3, so more of the same. Y'all stop copying each other. I mean, obviously they're not copying each other, but they're making the same plays, and the plays are all probably the most reasonable plays. I'm just saying, I'm not a reasonable person.
Nah, it happens.
Okay, Ack's gonna go ahead and do the Smith chain first, I think. Yeah, I guess in terms of like items per second, this is probably a little quicker.
Well, there's the big key, and it's for Skullwoods.
Interesting.
It's one additional check.
And there is what would have been a third sword in the maiden's chest there.
So both runners have followers right now. Acktheboker has a frog turned smith that when you pay him $20, you get a small key to Skullwoods. Meanwhile,
Okay.
WallKicks has a follower that's a maiden that once she exposes to sunlight and makes a bad pun, turns into a bomb.
Yeah, that's a real bad sunburn. So Ack is mirroring right outside of Thieves Town, fluting to 7, and then we'll be able to flute right back to 3.
And small key to pod and green pendant. So usually we're talking about pod keys. That's what the second one we found. So you could do a lot of pod, but you can't finish it without the big key and at least one more key, 2 to full clear. But now WallKicks is going to do the Smith chain as well.
Yep, seems reasonable. Though where he goes after Smith chain is pretty up in the air. And by that I mean he's going to use the flute to go somewhere. Don't know where.
Well, while we're doubling back over these, let's take this moment to say that if you are enjoying this entertainment that we have going on between Acktheboker and WallKicks, that please be sure to give both of them follows on Twitch. I'm sure they would appreciate it. All right. I mean, Nilsson, yeah, they're not talking over there right now. That's because they're racing. I'm saying, like, you know, you can enjoy them some other time when they're not racing.
Some of the best streamers I know don't talk at all. We still never talk sometimes. Wait.
All right, WallKicks heads to 8. Sequence break of Ice Palace, maybe?
Interesting. Yeah, actually, ACMLM is really. Yeah, he never uses a microphone and still interacts with his chat on a regular basis.
Yeah, we're doing a sequence break of Ice Palace.
Fair enough. I mean, with the cane in hand, this is going to be pretty quick, actually.
You won't be able to check the big chest, though.
Yeah, there's never anything in the Ice Palace big chest. What are you talking about?
WallKicks opting for bomb strats. Gets 5 of the 6 pen gators down. Then uses the hammer to get the last one. And gets powder. I love what TJ Maelstrom said. One time I got blue mail in that big chest. It was in 1992, but I got it.
All right. So I wonder if Ack might, after this, go check that Skullwood's big chest with the big key he found.
Oh look, he's turning north. I would assume that's what he's doing. WallKicks now going to pull out the glitch stick and execute the icebreaker. Got a little too far on that, so going to spin again. There you go. And there you go. Map to GT, the other useless map.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Apparently there's a paper shortage now, so...
Maybe you can recycle some of those sticks and turn it into paper.
All right. So, nothing much in the big chest of Skullwoods. Let's see where Ack heads from. Also gonna do the Ice Palace play. Okay.
Very interesting.
He also hasn't done Hobo, so I kind of like this a little more from him. Yeah, now WallKicks is going the long way to Iced Tea, and the reason for that is lack of small key.
Yep. And once we get there, Iced Tea Room has a piece of heart. And Ack is going to join WallKicks in Ice Palace.
Okie dokie. WallKicks now on to the cold stare shenanigans.
Gonna get some health from an anti-fairy first.
As opposed to an Uncle Fairy.
Ha ha, I see what you did there. So now WallKicks was going to go hammer, but instead decides to use the rest of his fire rod for splash damage. Gets 2 of the puffballs, and there's the... Oh, well, almost got the last one.
Yeah, this should be 2 hits with the hammer, and we'll be done. Yep.
There you go.
It's a big key. What to? Hera. Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Yeah, this is a massive sequence break, but it will at least potentially drive WallKicks finally up to Death Mountain, where we're pretty sure Turtle Rock has something at this point.
And there is that play to Death Mountain.
Can't believe WallKicks just left that heart sitting there. It's sank heart even.
Well, he's going to miss it again.
Oh, yeah. No, he picked it up this time. Okay.
Oh, all right.
Sure. All right, so with the big key to Hera, WallKicks is going to go ahead and check this area out. And we'd like to welcome everybody coming in from SpeedGaming 5. Once again, this is another race in our awesome Link to the Past Randomizer League playoffs. We've got Acktheboker versus WallKicks. This is all dungeons, key sanity, swordless standard ridiculousness, so get ready for dumb things.
That also you heard was Dr. Bob Tastic. I'm Jex Reffi, and WallKicks is pulling out a map to pod. And WallKicks will now be taking the ride on the roller coaster.
If Moldorm didn't want to die, he shouldn't have left the hammer in his own dungeon.
This is true. Although, with that big key to Hera being on Cold Stare...
Yeah, this is out of logic.
Well, it's out of logic, but it's a logically required double dip of Hera, because you had to get that hammer to then go get the big key.
Yeah, that's very true. Although, if you ever managed to find the hook shot along the way, you could have avoided that with the Hera pot shenanigans. Speaking of hookshot, I imagine we're going to be checking some Turtle Rock related things. We might not be able to get into Turtle Rock. We don't know.
Hey, we've been teasing this Turtle Rock for a while now. I mean, we got all 4 small keys. We got the big key, Fire Rod, and Cane of Samaria. Of course we're going to get in. See, there's Quake.
Yep. I mean, just based on those keys, I was rating the odds that the one medallion we have is not for Turtle Rock at something like, 3%. Now, of course, WallKicks is going to go check Super Bunny Cave first, which is something I would definitely do here. because the dream is like Ice Rod is here and you can actually full clear Turtle Rock.
Meanwhile, Ack is going to go turn in the green pendant from... Well!
So that is a lamp that is technically locked by the Thieves' Town small key. So we know that's not going to be locked behind any dark rooms.
Nope. I think I saw Meyer was a crystal, which would mean Pod is the other pendant.
There's still no sword because there won't be any swords.
This is swordless. Alright, we've been teasing this Turtle Rock for quite a while. Mapped desert. Not exactly the best thing you want to find to start. And
Ack, finally on the mountain.
Ooh! WallKicks getting hit by that Bari.
I know it's technically pronounced Bari, but I just like saying Barry. It's just like some dude. It's like Barry. Like, why Barry got to be involved in this? All right, right side of, or the torch room, roller room, Turtle Rock, two chests, a full heart, and the ice rod.
All right, we're full clearing this Turtle Rock.
So anybody who waited on Turtle Rock wasted a bunch of time.
All right.
Third pod key in the good old chain chomp room.
Alright, Ack taking his ride on the roller coaster. And down he goes.
Rang. Blue rang. Alright. Lava chest.
Other Acktheboker
Castle
key.
Tower small key. Okay. That is required for this seed, so I feel vindicated in my earlier prediction about there being something important in the lava chest. All right, Ack opening up Turtle Rock as well. It looks like WallKicks might have a bit of an advantage here. The only downside is that WallKicks hasn't picked up the lamp yet. But the dark room in Turtle Rock is pretty trivial. I'm not sure what Ack's going to do in Hookshot Cave. I mean, you could go get that bottle with a B. That was the Thieves Town small key? Okay. Yeah, the Thieves Town small key in Mimic Cave. So now the lamp is in logic. Lol.
So, let's think about this. You had to go to Hera to get the hammer, and then Hera's big key was in Ice Palace. That's another thing. But then you had to go into Turtle Rock, go to Mimic Cave, and get the Thieves Town small key. To then go back to Thieves Town, full clear Thieves Town, and get the green pendant. Take that to Sahasrara to get the lamp, to then come back here and finish Turtle Rock.
Yeah. And don't forget that in order to get into Turtle Rock, you needed to go over to Skull Woods to get the cane and the fire rod. The cane being the important one, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, my point being, like, key sanity, it's not a matter of are you going to double dip a dungeon. It's a matter of how
many times, yes.
WallKicks going ahead and getting the safety door.
Yeah, because bootless laser skips are dumb. Case in point.
Big 20. Map.
Well, as you can see, it's the higher seed's choice, and the higher seed is Acktheboker here, so you can blame him. Okay, seed, thanks a lot.
So, how about another trip to Ice Palace? I doubt either runner will actually be going to Ice Palace back to Ice Palace until they absolutely have to.
So what's great about this is the sheer double dip dumbness that we found here. Like, so we found the Thieves Town small key, which could end up leading people back to the Thieves Town big chest. We also found that Ice Palace big key, which could lead to another dip of Ice Palace. This is dumb and double dumb.
Mm-hmm. And now, time for some menu simulator Trinet. And instead, WallKicks is going to spam fire rod shots.
Well, he had to do so while the other head was exploding because there was no way to switch to the hammer.
Yeah, there's that. Okay, now we're out of phase 1 and into phase 2. Gonna have to use hammer for this, but 5 hammer swings, down goes Trinex. Any other trolliness this full Turtle Rock would like to give us? Nope, just big 20.
Key sanity swordless all dungeons. Dumb. I believe Dumb was also one of the selections.
Well, let's be honest. This is a Link to the Past randomizer. Dumb was, like, inferred.
Dumb is there by default.
Yes, yes.
All Dumbgens.
Nice,
That made
nice
me
T-Rex.
crack up for no reason.
Very nice, T-Rex. Very nicely done there.
Looks like WallKicks might be doing some Spike Cave here without any invincibility.
And he doesn't have a bottle. He doesn't have anything in there, so he's got just the 14 hearts to get through. Four, three, two, one. Nope.
Yeah, WallKicks did veto inverted. It is possible to get through there on 14 hearts, but without any extra like boots or hookshot or anything like that. But you have to be perfect. All right, looks like we're getting a play toward Palace of Darkness. Now, WallKicks, I imagine while he's at it, is probably going to mirror and check the green pendant and just, like, maybe throw a bomb at Sazrala. But then he's going to be heading toward Palace of Darkness, which we've got 3 keys for. We all know there's usually a key in pod for itself. All right. No time for rage. All right, and Act deals with Turtle Rock, no problem, or Laser Bridge, and is heading on to Trinex. All right, welcome to Palace of Darkness, home of tons of keys, lots of which can be skipped. If we find a 4th key, it is possible to clear this entire dungeon without picking up any more keys. We do need to find the big key, however. And a vanilla actual pod key. Thank you very much.
It's a thing that usually happens in key sanity. Ack, meanwhile, on his menu simulator fight.
I mean, basically, this going to pod is the thing that WallKicks did right after Trinex, with the minor exception of he tried to go do Spike Cave real quick.
All right, piece of heart in... That's a map chest, right?
I believe that is correct, yes.
Okay, another piece of heart there. Ack has his Trinex fight done.
Now, I do commend these runners on having some pretty solid overall routing. Like, the idea being that when they... if they eventually have to go back to those, like, one-off locations, it'll come pretty quick. Like, they'll have most of the other locations full cleared at that point. So Ack is going to do this even more difficult trick, but he does have a red potion on him, so
Yep.
this shouldn't be a problem.
He should be fine.
Found the Ether Medallion in pod, which is, as we know, entirely useless. And the big key of Mire.
Meanwhile, just sticks in Spike Cave, so only thing that will really hurt WallKicks there is if he actually takes the time to go back to it.
Fair enough.
Ack, meanwhile...
Oh, I like this play.
He's going to check the 2 items in Aga Tower. I don't think he would go ahead and finish, because usually you want to save that for last, right before you drop into the Ganon fight.
I feel like if you're going in there at all, you want to try to finish it. But that being said, without the bug net, I don't want to. I would have liked to play a little more if he had gone there from the Dark World and also checked Pyramid with it. Because I don't think anybody's checked Pyramid.
No, I think you're right. I don't think anyone has. We've seen a catfish play.
Oh! Hello!
Hello!
A hook shot in the first chest of Aga Tower, which you want to talk dumb? That was actually and there's the flippers in pod. Well, there's the Swamp Palace package.
Well, we still we did get the small key to go in there. So yeah, we can get into the Swamp House now. By aggregate.
Yeah, anyways, so that hook shot was actually available really early. Like, as soon as you got the hammer, it was available. A book for WallKicks. So that's unlocking a couple of items, plus a check on the pedestal if you want it. Though, in all dungeons, since the pendants are required anyway, I wouldn't check the pedestal without just having all the pendants. Well, there's the Cane of Burna, which will allow WallKicks to repeat that check on Spike Cave if he so desires.
And out goes WallKicks as Acktheboker heads in. Now, we don't have a GT big key game because, again, key sanity, but we can still play the game where from 1 to 15, 0 to 15, how many blue balls do you think the Wizard's going to throw at our runners today?
The answer is enough.
But the way Aga works, first one is always the required reflect ball. Next 3 are randomized, as you see the first blue ball there. Number 5 is the bolt of lightning, and then we spin again.
Yeah, and Ack is doing an excellent job of using, well, I stand corrected. I was going to say he was doing an excellent job of not missing any of the shots with the hammer, and then he missed one.
Missed again. Meanwhile, WallKicks checking Pyramid Ledge for a bottle, and I think this is going to be a huge play for WallKicks. He's about to get that hook shot, and that will open up Swamp Palace for him.
Mm-hmm. And now the unfortunate part is you weren't able to actually clear out pod. And I believe the way that WallKicks did it, I'm not sure if he preserved the pod key or not.
I think he did. He never went through the front door.
Okay.
That's 3, I think. I honestly lost count.
Oh yeah, the hookshot also gave us access to Misery Mire.
Alright, that's
Which...
3. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Alright, so now... Oh, that's why Ack didn't worry about checking the pyramid, because he's going to end up on the pyramid. I'm dumb. And I guess he's planning on going to pod from here.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. Or...
Nope.
Well, he could still flute to 5. He could still flute to 5.
Yeah.
Or flute to 6. I mean, he doesn't have the Mire key. Instead, he's going to flute to 1. Hookshot cave, I guess, maybe, kind of.
Yeah, that is definitely a go. Let's see. Dumb check or dumb prediction of the day. Boots in the actual chest in Hookshot Cave that you could get to with the boots.
Alright. So now WallKicks is going to do his Aga fight as well. I think to your earlier point, you're right that it makes sense that since you have both keys and you're making the run, you might as well go ahead and finish it.
Yeah. But that does assume that you are comfortable with Hammer Aga. Hammer Aga 1 is okay to do. Hammer Aga 2, on the other hand, is a garbage fire.
Did we find anything? I actually looked away and...
Yeah, there was a GT small key, and that's about it.
So, like, yeah, not much. I mean, in terms of go mode, now, there is one possibility. The pod
boots.
big key, well, okay, we could need boots.
Yeah, and the pod big key could be hiding in one of those glorious one-off locations that we left behind, something like Thieves Town Big Chest, Ice Palace Big Chest, etc.
I was also going to point out one of the 27 locations inside of GT itself.
Oh yeah, because pod is a pendant. I wasn't even paying attention to that. Ooh, are we going to get required GT Big Chest?
That would always be fun.
I love required GT Big Chest every single time. Doesn't matter what mode it's in. Even when it's in, like, cross keys where it's required, like, half the time. That's an exaggeration, but still.
Still, yeah, in cross keys, you end up checking it quite a bit. But, in either case...
Ooh. WallKicks is going to the Ice Palace Big Chest.
This is... No.
It's making a liar out of me.
He's gonna get some bombs and arrows.
Just arrows.
This is a Mire play. He's getting arrows.
Oh, yeah, that's good call. Because 35 arrows, if you do the math, is 3 times 9 plus 8.
Math is fun. Wait. Yeah, you're right.
It is precisely the amount of arrows you would need to kill Vitreous if you never miss.
Now, me being the derp that I am and, will miss, I would have probably gone for 40. But, again...
I've gone for 45. Not even kidding, I'm just bad. WallKicks just made a complete liar out of me. I was like, oh man, is he going for Ice Palace Victory? No, you dumb. Why would anyone do that? Especially when you've got all of Mire and all of Swamp available. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, all of Swamp minus Big Chest. Alright, so Ack will be finding the flippers here in Pod. It looks like he already spent a key on the front door, so he did not preserve the key for Pod. But, you know, you gotta assume at some point the other key is forthcoming. Wait, have we not found any Mire keys? That's really weird. So without any Mire keys, you don't really expect there to be anything important on the left side of Mire. Unless, of course, they're all like tucked in GT or something and you need them for later. Tablets work when you have the hammer and a book. So basically anything that would require a sword normally can be done with the hammer.
Medallions are the only thing that there is that floor tile for the medallions, and you do not need the hammer for those.
Correct.
That said, the medallions will only work on those floor tiles.
Also correct. Alright, so WallKicks checked the first left side chest, but not the second. Found the compass of Pod. Got a small key to Ice Palace.
Interesting.
Ack forgetting he doesn't have the big key to Pod. But, you know, I don't blame him. Gonna get the Cane of Brian here. But yeah, you can also use the hammer to break the barrier to Agate Tower, and the boots can be found in the big chest of Misery Mire. You know, those sorts of things. These boots in Mire are yet another example of one of my favorite principles in Rando. And it is what I refer to as the principle of self-locking items. In that an item likes to be in a place where you could otherwise access the item with that item. So, for example, in Misery Mire, you can either use the boots or the hookshot to get in. That means that if you found the hookshot, the odds are quite a bit greater that the boots are in Mire.
Meanwhile, Ack is heading for Swamp.
Yeah, so we know this isn't going to have, like, the boots or anything, but it could still have some pretty important stuff in it.
Wait, did WallKicks miss an item?
He did leave the vanilla big key chest.
Okay.
That particular chest is, in fact, out of logic without all three small keys, so I can understand that particular play.
True, but I thought the
Hey, there's the fourth sword.
There's the fourth sword. Wouldn't the other firelock chest also be locked?
It is, but it's also way quicker to check.
There is that.
Big old chunk of change in the front of Swamp. mean, what are we actually missing here? Pod big key?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it.
Pod big key would kind of like to have silvers.
Well, at the very
And by
least,
would kind of like to have silvers, I mean would really, really, really like to have silvers.
which the thing is that if they haven't found silvers by the time they have everything else, you'll just rush Ganon, get to phase 4, he'll tell you where they are, and then you go get them.
Yeah, that's basically it. The downside is if you're doing like swordless entrance, that won't work because it's the GT hint is borked in entrance. Or the silver's hint. It always tells you the one you already have.
Well, Vitreous was nice to give some sticks back to WallKicks after finishing off that fight.
Alright, there's that extra pod key that Ack was going to end up needing. No big key for Swamp yet either. As Ack makes his way to the back immediately, we're going to see some diver. Yeah, place that block a little low or high, actually. There we go. That's perfect. Blue mail and 50 rupees in the diver down room. It used to be like the flooded room. Now it's just the diver down room because that's what you do.
Mm-hmm. And WallKicks is going to join Ack in Swamp Palace. So this will open up GT, but we're still looking for a pod big key. And, well, pod big key, okay. Oh, and it looks like Ack got a 5th key, so he's good on that. So we just need pod big key and silver.
Yeah, the other pod key was there in the compass room of Swamp. So I imagine WallKicks will also pick that up. The one upside that WallKicks will have for this dungeon is he'll have the boots. The downside is, without a sword, the boots are not nearly as efficient. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can be running into enemies left and right. I mean, their comments said quick swap on. I don't know why it's not.
Because technically this isn't cross keys, and, well, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, it was a joke.
I've run a bunch of with a group of friends. We run, and then so we're all like, okay, WallKicks, you want your quick swap, and then the one week we all had to do cross keys for the league. Everyone's like, man, I kind of wish we had quick swap, and WallKicks was like, finally, I'm vindicated. Meanwhile, Ack has Argus down and a piece of heart.
WallKicks picks up that other small key to pod. So I'm expecting the big key to pod to be somewhere in Ganon's tower. Though it could be in one of those real weird one-off locations. So I do think even in all dungeon seeds, there is some sort of junk fill in GT. Alright, 50 rupees on the Bombos tablet. Alright, so Ack gonna head to Meyer, finish that out. Another play that Ack could make is if he decides to go ahead and check the vanilla big key chest of Meyer, and if that turns out to have the big key of Pod, that could be huge. Because you know WallKicks will be doing that basically last. I didn't know you could start a medallion and then and before it goes off, you could switch to something else.
I did not know that either. So, both runners are going back over the 7th crystal dungeon that they have. And after that, you would assume the next play is... I would assume GT. You got 27 items there, full clear the dungeon, run the gauntlet, hope you find Pod Big Key along the way. And maybe silvers.
Yeah. Ack immediately finds those boots first thing in Meyer, so that could lead to some slightly faster clears. So there's not a command for that, but if you want me to let you know, it's the modes selected for this by Acktheboker were standard, all dungeons, key sanity, swordless. WallKicks vetoed the inverted selection. Ack's just gonna, pointlessly hover back across this bridge. In fact, not entirely convinced it would have saved him any time. Because he came in through the big key door, so he could have just fell and been back on that bridge. But you know what? Sure. Ack is actually skipping quite a bit more of this dungeon. So it does look like he might not have quite correctly set up the spooky glitch.
Meanwhile...
Oh, I know what happened. He was using the Cane of Samaria to beat Meyer 2. And there's no way he kept spooky during that. Alright, so Ack pulling out the hammer for Viddy. Using the blue mail and some nice damage strats, just getting in there and beating down. I'm on board with that plan.
And down goes Vitreous as WallKicks is making his way to GT. 27 locations, 2 items away from Go mode, and hopefully one or both of those are on our way.
Well, you go basement looking for Pod Big Key, because unfortunately this is an all dungeon seed. And the silvers, you kind of want them due to, swordless shenanigans.
All right, number 1, piece of heart. Number 2, silvers.
There you go.
So pod big key is all we have left for go mode.
Well, I think it's like a 3-frame window to actually get the hammer hit in on Ganon, but it's still like the worst.
Mm-hmm. Number 3, bombs. Number 4, small key to pod. So hey, there's all 6. Big 20, mana mushroom.
Okay. So BugNet is very useful and very nice, but not technically required. You can use the hammer to bounce them.
8 bombs. Oh, that was 7 bombs. My bad.
I think it was 3 bombs.
It was 3 bombs for check number 7. For check number 8, we have a big 20. We have a piece of heart. We have more bombs. And a bombos.
Yeah, none of those are particularly great.
Alright, Ack has his silvers, so pod big is all they've got to find. Number 12, more sticks.
As expected, neither player checking tile room.
Because why would you check tile room?
I mean, I would. But that's only because I'm not reasonable. We've had this discussion.
Have we had this discussion? I don't remember having this discussion.
I mean, we just had it like like an hour ago or so.
Oh, well, anyway. 13, small key to Hera. Oh!
Speaking of paranoia, goodness. I wouldn't be surprised if there's no big key to pod in here, that's one of the quicker checks you check. Like if you clear out the basement, you might just do that before going up GT.
Well, 14 through 17 doesn't have it.
And WallKicks will probably, if that's the case, probably backtrack and do Hookshot Cave.
I think didn't he do Hookshot Cave on his way here?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think he did.
Okay, he did. Good.
And number 18. Red shield.
Probably going to do big chest after the boss, I would think.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Silver arrows make this fight easy. Alright, number 19. Big 20. 20, $300, 21. Big key to...
Debated.
We now have every big key but the one we need. So once we see the sprite, we know we have it. 22. Piece of heart.
Alright, WallKicks now going to check tile room. And then I imagine after this, maybe another tile room.
Of the Hera variety.
Correct. So after that, I think you go ahead and finish GT. And then after that, you start checking the one-offs that we left behind earlier in the seed.
Yep, because Ganon gives hints about where the silver arrows are. He doesn't give hints about where the pod big key is. And as we were thinking, Wally is most likely going to mirror here and, well, check Ether Tablet.
Ether Tablet as well. Forgot about that.
And then maybe probably do Hera after that as well. Although he did have that death with Spike Cave. So unless he's gonna mirror here, he may be thinking, I may have to come back and check Spike Cave. And if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do it when I'll do Hera when I do Spike Cave.
Act with the intentional bunny strats. Apparently Santa Link turns into a reindeer of some sort. I think the intentional bunny strats there actually reduce the general lag in the room, and it might actually be faster.
Alright, WallKicks is going to get a health refill. Ack not even bothering with Ether Tablet or Hera Basement. He's just heading for the gauntlet as WallKicks heads in.
All right, on to the final room of the gauntlet for WallKicks. Very, very nicely done. Oh, a little bit of a issue there, but taking care of it.
I always thought the gauntlet was all the way till Aga 2.
Well, I just consider those 5 rooms, and then I just call them other things.
Well, missed one silver hit on the third Lammo.
All right, WallKicks into the torch room, and Acktheboker almost also into the torch room. So this is, getting quite a bit close.
Picking up time on WallKicks.
All right, big 20. small key to Meyer. One piece closer to that Meyer big key chest being required.
Again, we found every other big key. Once we see the big key sprite, we know it's the pod one.
The map of Hera. And, you know, there's a lot of debate a lot of times about whether you'll pick up this final chest here. At this particular juncture, you're picking it up.
Yeah, you kind of are. Oh, and WallKicks takes a fall.
Yeah, that kind of puts Ack in the lead here. And we reverse again as Ack takes a fall. Trolldorm has doled out punishment in both directions. The final chest is bombs. We gotta go on a hunt
for a big key to the Palace of Darkness.
It is, in fact, all dungeons, yes.
Alright, time for WallKicks geometry test. Made harder by the fact that this is swordless.
Oh, yeah. No bug net Agatu is actual garbage in sword.
Now, both runners are going to get the same patterns. The RNG is identical for race ROMs. And WallKicks has Agatu down. So that's GT done.
Alright, so what's the first weird location that WallKicks is going to go check? My brain... I'm not sure WallKicks has done Catfish, so I think that might be his play here.
Well, he's setting up a hook dash. So, yeah, I would assume that is the play he's doing.
And then that's probably going to go into, like, a King's Tomb Bonk Rocks play.
I don't think he did Zora, though.
Yeah, he'll probably do Zora as well. Whereas if I'm Ack, I'm probably just going straight King's Tomb Bonk Rocks because that's, you know, 2 locations I can check. Oh, getting Mushroom taken care of as well. That's pretty reasonable.
Alright, Ack, meanwhile... it's also going to do that Mushroom.
It's a small key again. This time to Meyer. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Getting closer.
And we should point out, as chat is, Ack just pretty much go-moded Meyer.
That is true.
So he has a bunch of Meyer that Wally has only skipped the vanilla big chest. Ack is heading for King's Tomb, as WallKicks heads for Catfish. We've seen Catfish already. We know it's not there. And again, we have every other big key.
The final shield in King's Tomb.
We have every other big key. So once we see the sprite, we know it's the pod one. WallKicks fluting to 3. Thieves Town big chest, possibly?
Oh, that would be interesting. I also think he hasn't done Skull Woods big chest.
Ah, that could be it.
Oh, there it is! Bonk rocks!
1 hour,
Let's go.
1 hour, 59 minutes, 35 seconds. Acktheboker is in go mode. And that right there is Rando in a nutshell.
On
Sometimes
WallKicks is going to add a little more checks to his vocabulary here, because he's got to check. He's going to check Aga 1, or the lumberjack cave,
but that, I mean,
which Ack already checked as well.
Yeah,
So
but
the fact that Ack kind of checked all these other things a little earlier is really what's giving him back this advantage.
Mm-hmm. And like I was getting ready to say, I mean, that is Rando in a nutshell. You know, there is the execution element to it, but sometimes it just simply comes down to, did you make the right check at the right time? Because Ack could have very well gone back to Meyer, having not done a bunch of it, and WallKicks would be getting his pod big key now first here. But since Ack made the decision to do the flank charade stuff first, that's how he managed to get ahead.
Yep. So WallKicks also just acquired the big key to pod, and so we'll be heading over there directly, though it is going to be a little difficult to catch up at this point. Though, I mean, Swordless Ganon in and of itself is pretty garbo. And WallKicks has a bit more defense on him. We never found the bug net. That's some garbage. Interestingly enough, the big key to pod was not locked behind anything in GT.
Meanwhile, Ack is into Helmastar. Just got to get 17 hammer swings on the dinosaur thing.
And a single silver arrow to the jewel.
And that will do it. So after 7 crystals, 3 pendants, 2 wizards, and 2 hours of rando madness, Acktheboker, is finally time for the big pig!
Mm-hmm. I expect what we'll see here is likely just a save and quit. Unless he wants to preserve that health.
Which he won't.
The timers aren't far off, it's just Ack's first digit is cut off. Timers are roughly exactly in sync. Oh, very nice hammer shots here from Ack. He's got himself into Phase 2 in the greatest location for Phase 2. So I imagine this will be Phase 3 right here. Might be a little shy, but I don't think so. Yeah, this was in fact a swordless seed. Otherwise, you would not be able to hit Ganon with the hammer.
Nope. But since we removed the swords, you kind of have to replace the sword with something, so we use a hammer, and now that we're into Phase 4, it's still 4 skewers before we get bacon.
pretty academic at this point.
Just got to make sure you don't fall off a ledge inadvertently. And just one more silver skewer, and that will do it.
Whew.
So, just waiting for the fanfare to finish. And then, once it does, we will officially say that Acktheboker has finished with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 58 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat.
And WallKicks will be finishing pretty shortly as well.
Alright. And while WallKicks is working on Ganon, we have that Acktheboker joining us in chat. GG.
Oh, GG. Thanks, guys.
So, how, what's the word I'm looking for? How nervous were you getting coming out of GT for that pod big?
Well, I saw the last few minutes on the restream, you know, I was thinking, man, that seems really bad. I didn't get that big key when I did. However, you know, if the big key was in GT, I probably would have lost, so I guess I'm glad it wasn't there. But that definitely wasn't going through my mind. I thought it was pretty silly. I didn't check Bonk Rocks. I feel like I would have checked Bonk Rocks if I hadn't killed Aga just because I was too lazy to mirror. It was the silliest decision-making ever, but once I got the boots, I was like, oh, it's 2 quick, easy checks just in case.
Yeah, I do think that even in an all-dungeon seed, the junk fill for Ganon's Tower still applies, right?
I mean, so we needed the silvers. Those were up there, and you know, every freaking all dungeon seed I normally play, the castle tower is always upstairs too.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that just means that there's some amount of junk fill in Ganon's Tower, so it reduces the overall value a little, but not guaranteed. So there's usually like 1 or 2 items in there.
All I needed was 2. All I got was 1.
Yep, there you go.
And I will jump in real quick to say the WallKicks has also finished with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, 8 seconds. GG's to Wall.
Well
I thought when we saw the pod small key, I think it was somewhere in GT. I was like, oh man, the big key's got to be in here since, you know, the small key's in here.
See, I was thinking the same exact thing. Like, I saw that pod small, and I'm like, oh my god, this is great. The pod big is going to be in here, and then it wasn't. What's up, Ack, by the way? GG's.
GG's, man.
Hey, we also have WallKicks in here. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. You know, a little disappointed that I wasn't able to get the win, but I mean, with the race this close, I can't be upset at it.
I mean, you guys were close for the majority of the race. The only time you guys did like a major divergence was one of you went to Mire and the other one went to Swamp, and then you just swapped and did the other one. So you guys were pretty much neck and neck for the majority of this race.
That play did give WallKicks a small advantage of having the boots a little quicker. Unfortunately, the boots are not quite as useful in swordless. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But, I mean, I've been playing nothing but swordless in these playoffs. I kind of am used to it at this point. So it didn't really bother me all that much.
Even more useless when you don't get them, so.
That's true, but unfortunately, it led to our go mode.
Yeah, that was definitely necessary for this particular seed. What?
Oh, the bug dead on.
Are you kidding me right now?
Wow.
I was gonna say something about that when I figured out that the pod, big key was not behind GT.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, come on, this game.
I mean, you know, the hammer does its job. You just got to be a little more careful.
Mm-hmm.
I was not.
I mean, I know that.
I was a little rusty on those. I think it's something about you and my Aga fights. They don't go very well for me.
I mean, you got it done though. No big deal.
Yeah, the Aga Tower or the Aga fight without with Hammer, especially Aga 2 with Hammer,
Mhm.
is just straight garbo.
So, going back over that race, so was Turtle Rock on the back of your guys' minds with all the stuff we found so early?
I wanted to go there immediately. It was such a commitment to go there. I think without a hook shot or not, all I had was Quake, but I was like, man, I won't even look. I'll menu to Quake right now because I know that's the medallion. Like, I know we're getting in and I know everything is in there because you had everything. It was ridiculous. I never felt like a seed pointed more to Turtle Rock than this one.
See, and I was thinking the very same thing, but at the same time, I was like, if it's not Quake, I've come up here for Super Bunny Cave. So I waited until I sequence broke and fake flippered into ice and completed ice and got the Hera big, and I'm like, okay, now I have another reason to go up there, so I could do Hera as well, and then check to see my my TR medallion, which turned out to be Quake. And like Ack said, I mean, the sea was hard yelling at us, go to Turtle Rock.
Yeah,
That was
both
exactly
of you
what I
actually
did too.
that. Yeah.
I was really torn. I mean, I was just like, I'm gonna go to Turtle Rock right now. But then I was like, why not fake flipper to ice and orphan another big chest and worry about it the whole seat? Like, we could do that too.
Orphaned so many big chests and like so many one-offs.
my God.
And all the keys to them were in Turtle Rock, so I was just
so
like,
dumb.
well, if someone decided to go here early like it was telling you to, they're not going to be dragging these items. So I guess you just got to live with that.
So the seed actually technically wanted you to go into Turtle Rock to get the Thieves Town small key so that you could beat Thieves Town and get the lamp.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I forgot the lamp was there. Yeah, I think I did that after. I don't think I had the
Yeah,
lamp.
you didn't have the lamp going into T-Rock.
Yeah, didn't
Nope.
think so.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I
Waited
never
for
went up to
pod.
the pod area before that.
I couldn't hold it in. I was like, I'll just turn in the green pendant, but we'll hold off on pod. So I got to see everything in the light.
Oh, lovely.
So, I mean, other than that, that was, like I said, close race between the both of you. Really could have gone either way. And, I mean, for just the settings that you chose, Zach, I mean, it was the madness that we kind of expected coming in.
I would,
I don't know,
however,
I
like
just
to
clicked some
file a
buttons.
complaint. I would, however, like to file a complaint. We did put, or at least Ack put in our notes that quick swap was to be on, and
Yeah, I
quick swap wasn't on.
put quick swap and Randomizer with chickens and cross keys.
So I think we need to talk to Fear about this because
Must be
clearly
something wrong with the application thing,
Yeah,
or maybe
they
Synax
sent us the
bot
wrong
is-
seed.
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
hey,
we're gonna play it, but you know.
Hey, WallKicks, go back to when you were in Swamp Palace. I was relaying about how you complained about quick swap in our Crystal Company races.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, where was the quick swap? But I mean, realistically, I mean, GG's to Ack, was just able to get that much more on me. But I was able to keep it close, and that's really all I can ask for.
Yeah, GG's,
Yeah,
man.
really, the actual difference here, it's kind of subtle in the end, is that Ack kind of checked a few of the random outside locations along the way in a lot of places. So, like, he'd already checked the big chest of Skullwoods when he was going to do Graveyard Ledge and things like that. And so a lot of that led to different locations being available, and so the Bonk Rocks became, got onto his list a little quicker than yours. That's really the only subtlety here.
Can't do much
So
about
you
that.
skipped Left Side Swamp 2 and the Ice Palace Big and the Thieves Town Big and all that?
Yep, I also
Mhm.
didn't do the vanilla big key chest in Misery Mire, and
Yeah, Ack skipped most of Mire.
I didn't have any small keys, man.
Neither did I,
you do?
but-
I was
Yeah.
like, man, you know what? If you're not gonna give me a small key, I'm not gonna check them.
I routed that terror. Like, I even felt like after I had finished video, I'm like, man, I routed that badly. I lost some time on that one because I didn't have any small keys.
And they should have
And,
just put it in the Ice Palace Big Chest, and we could have literally just lost our minds for the last 10 minutes of this seed.
Now, Ack, I do appreciate the hover across to the bridge there. I'm not sure it actually saved any time.
It didn't. But, I had those boots for, I don't know, like 3 minutes of the seed. I felt like I would use them.
So. Anyway, So last question to Ack. 1 win away from being the representative from the Village of Outcast division and getting us one step closer to an interview with Faraime. How's your team feeling?
I mean, I guess no complaints yet. You have to talk to Korek about that one. He's I think he's our anchor, so he'll be the one bringing it home. If not, I think I'm playing game 4. WallKicks, if you want to switch with Sir Link a lot, we can play again, since, all we do is play each other.
I can talk to him about that. We seem to be pretty good with where we're at, though, so we need Sir Link to beat Gem tomorrow, and then go from there. And then if necessary, I think...
Oh wait, Jim's playing. Korek already played. Korek was the one that did the freaking... Yeah, he did you guys real dirty. I talked to him about that, alright? I mean, I was happy, but it was wrong. I'll admit, it was wrong what he did to you guys.
Did you at least teach him how to mimic clip? Because you were so certain that he knew that.
I mean, it was like, he made me so happy and disappointed me, equally as much as he made me happy all in one seed.
So to go ahead and tease that, tomorrow at noon Eastern, we will have Sir Link-a-Lot versus Gem. It will be the Courage Pendant match, so it will just be open mode, 7-7 defeat Ganon if necessary, unless you guys decide to switch it up. Sir Link-a-Lot will then be going up against Acktheboker Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Fast Ganon, open, randomized swords, map compass shuffle. So, please be sure to give both Ack and WallKicks follows on Twitch. We've got 3 more races today. 8 o'clock on SpeedGaming 2, we've got Frostbite 3030 from the Fendrana Drifters at TM of the Titans Mitts. 9 o'clock on SpeedGaming 6, we got Weighty Words from Pug Trio versus PRD1 of Clown Parade. And on the main SpeedGaming channel at 10 p.m., we have Moogle Charm of the Double Dippers going up against Swerb of Sealed W. So, a bunch of rando action still going on tonight, and want to give a shout out to our tracker WinFox470, and then I'll hand it over to my co-com, Dr. Bob, to wrap it up.
Yeah, so one minor thing I want to mention, the collection rates here. We had 188 for Ack and 186 for WallKicks, so, we expect a, fairly high collection rate for an all dungeons key sanity seed, but, it was very close between both of you, so, well done. Is there anything else you two would like to say before we wrap it up?
Yeah, WallKicks, did you find a sword anywhere?
No, I was hoping you would, so you can kind of tell me, man.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with these things. No, thank you for the commentary tracking, guys. Always.
Yeah, for sure. This is always really good.
You guys are always so great to interview. Oh boy. Anyway, thanks once again to our runners. Thanks for everybody for watching this seed and everybody else behind the scenes, keeping this thing going. Yeah, give the people involved a follow, because this was an excellent race to watch. And with that, I will just say that I have been Dr. Bobtastic, and I will see you all at a later occasion. Goodbye, everybody.
And I am Jex Reffy, and we'll see you next mission.